What is going on, everybody? Captain Namco here. We're going to look at the differences between a wood pin and synthetic. So AMF versus Twister. Right away, looking at them, you can tell that this pin on the right, left, the pin on the right, they both look the same in a way. But if you look, the one on the right hand side, Mr. Twister, is different compared to this one. And I'll tell you why. Because the Twister pin does not have that nylon ring at the bottom. Whereas your AMF pin has a nylon ring at the bottom. Now the inside of these pins are also different. You see the wood core, the inner core of this pin is wood. Whereas the Twister pin, it's just got a resin core on the inside. Here's the reason why they get their different sounds when they fall and hit the lane. This one here, people would describe it as it sound like a dead wood or a busted pin. Which, in my opinion, it don't really sound like that. I mean, a pin's a pin. It just means with that different sound to it, this pin would ultimately react different compared to your standard wooden pin. Now, both of them are USB-C approved. And the AMF pin is, I believe, made in the US. Yeah. The AMF pin that you see, that I just showed you guys, is made here in the United States of America. So, there is that. Whereas, my Twister pin, which I'll get it up here in just a second here. Whereas my Twister pin, it clearly says it is made in Germany. So, you're probably wondering more about the Twister pin. We're going to dive into a little bit more here in this video. With this pin not being an American bowling pin, you might wonder, how do they legalize them here in the United States or even Canada? I mean, they'll have, right here, they'll have a U.S. patented number. So, this is U.S. pending and Canadian pending. And it'll say it right there. So, if you ever get a Twister pin in your collection, look at that. It'll say Canadian and U.S. pending. So, Canadian patent and U.S. patent pending. So, ultimately, then right here, we'll have the U.S. patented number here. So, that would mean these pins are legal to use here in the United States of America. So, people do have their own opinion about the Twister pins. People hate them, they love them, whatever. Me, Twister pins, on the other hand, are one of my favorite pins. And on up till recently, I didn't ever think I'd ever get my hands on one until a friend of mine actually gave me one in a trade. And then I got 5 from the bowling alley over in Vandalia. And then, of course, this guy, the brand new Twister. God love it, y'all. So, and another thing I did not show you with the AMF pins, they also actually have a date code, which will ultimately tell you how old the pins are. Now, I have some 2004 USB-C approved AMF Amflights down here on the floor. But we're not going to mess with those tonight. We're just kind of showing differences. But like I said, the wood pins actually have a nylon ring, whereas your Twister pin has just a flat surface. So, there is that. So, with even with the nylon, with the with the stripes, they feel a little bit different at the neck of the pin versus your wood pins with the plastic coating. you can actually feel where it started, where they, I don't know, it feels like ridge kind of, but you can feel it right here at the top, and then it smooths out going around. So that's also another difference I noticed about the twister pins. And one thing about the twister pins versus the wood pins, whereas the wood pins, if they were to break, those can splinter, whereas the twisters, they just flatten. They just dent up. They don't shatter, they don't splinter or anything like that. So, thanks for watching this video, and with that being said, before I go, I always want to remind you guys that Jesus loves you, and have a wonderful night.